The Motivation Manifesto Mastermind discussion. We are at Bob Miller's house. Bob's sitting behind me, and I'm going to slide out of the way and let him get in here because because I'm a good guy. That's why. And if anyone wants to come over, I'm trying to click people across. Jackson, I don't know why you're not coming. I don't know. But I did put a link in the chat. If you click on that, it will just bring you in through the Google Hangout. Everybody here knows that drill, so I'm not going to belabor Mastermind discussion. We are at Bob Miller's house. Bob's sitting behind me, and I'm going to slide out of the way. We got somebody on there with two windows open. Because I'm a good guy. That's why. And if anyone wants to come over, I'm trying to click people. Somebody has two windows. I don't know. Rick? But I put a link in the chat. If you click on that, it will just bring you in through the Google Hangout. Everybody here knows that drill, so I'm... David. Bye, David. Okay. You want to run this today, Bob? You're more prepared than I am.
Yeah, I'm not even prepared, but we can do it.
Wing it, baby.
Huh? A wing. We're gonna wing ding. We're gonna wing ding.
We need to come up with a nickname for David too. We got Bouncing Bob and Leaping Lynn. So we call it Dodging David.
What is it, Len?
Leaping Lynn.
Leaping. And what was it for Bob?
Bouncing Bob.
Bouncing Bob. I was just bouncing around right now. How about here, Debbie? Get your face in here for a second. Just get your face in. How about, what about for Debbie?
My face. Hi.
Hi, Debbie, sweetheart.
How you doing, sweetie?
So we're bouncing computers here this morning. We're trying to bounce, trying to. We have like 3 different computers going on, so we have some bandwidth issue here today.
Yeah, but not right now.
So right now this we're our second to last chapter here in the Motivation Manifesto, and this one here is declaration number 8. We shall inspire greatness. Now I'm going to read just the very beginning here on a quote from Albert Schweitzer. He says, I don't know what your destiny will be, but one thing I know: the only ones among you who will be happy are those who have sought and found how to serve. You know, we hear that term all the time about being a servant leader. That you hear that a lot about serving. So what this means to me, what this means to be is that we got to put our own beginning here on a quote from Albert Schweitzer. It says, I don't know.
You got windows.
You got 2 things open. We okay? To me, to me, what that means is that we got to put our own ego aside and just sort of begin to serve. Do like Jackson does, and and talk about other people, serve other people. Let other people take the reins. It's not always about us. What's your thoughts on that guy? Hey, Jackson, good to see you there, buddy.
Hey, Bobby.
How are you guys?
Jackson.
I am fantastic. If I was doing any better, I'd live in Mexico with Lynn.
You know what? If I was doing any better, they'd put me in jail. I'd be illegal.
Wow.
I am illegal on Sundays.
Depending on which way you're going home, you might just get arrested for being an illegal. You never know.
He might. So, David, do you have any cliff notes on this chapter here? This is our second to last chapter, and you always
cliff notes. Hold on a minute. Let me go open my Evernote.
Yep, we're getting to the end here. But like to me, what that means, if anybody else has any comments why he's finding that, what that means is put our own ego aside and just serve people. Any thoughts on anybody?
Well, if no one else is going to think, I'll jump in here. I think that's absolutely right. And we've all been told over and over and over again that the fastest way to wealth is to help other people get what they want. And I'm finding that more and more. I am just super excited about some of the things that are happening in my business right now, coming from people that I haven't asked anything from. I've just helped them get what they wanted to get. And it's just amazing to see how this is beginning to turn now. I can't even. It's just amazing. That's all. That's all I have to say.
And it's all about not giving up too, because sometimes when you're doing things like Len's been doing this, he's been doing these lunch with Len and profit with Len and all these things for so long. Sometimes you feel like you're not really getting any traction, and then all of a sudden, bingo, it connects. You start, all of a sudden, people start coming into your life because you're not out there just trying to push something. You're you're serving. You're going out of your way to serve. And I want to give just another example about that. As many of you know, I've been doing a gratitude video, somebody's gratitude video every morning. So every morning this year, I made a video called Sunrise Gratitude Video, and usually I get about maybe 100 views or something like that. But then just the other day, I made a video about Tyrese Gibson, who was a big actor, R&B singer, and things like that. Well, he shared it on his wall, and I have over 200,000 views on that one video. It's like, whoa! It's like I thought my eyes were deceiving. When I seen it, I go, I'm used to seeing like 100 views or something like that, like 200,000. I reposted it on my personal wall if you want to check it out. But it's amazing how sometimes if you just stay in there, just keep doing the same thing over and over, and just giving, then you're gonna be recognized. I look at Jackson. I see what he's doing. I see the people that he's attracting into his life. When he first started at Friday Night Live, there were people telling him that, hey, this probably not a good idea. Friday night's not a really good night. People have got other things to do, and it's probably not going to work. Is that true, Jackson? Didn't that happen to you?
Yeah, it did. I mean, the thing of it is, you got to keep you just got to keep pounding away at it and keep going. Find that one thing that you love to do, and do it. Do it even when no one's looking, and yeah, I mean, you'll be amazed. It's amazing, when you start doing stuff and you start breaking out, and you've got we learn and we invest, we learn, and then we teach. Yeah. And when you start stepping out, you only get critics when you actually start stepping out and doing something. And you know what? If you start hearing them, that means you're doing something good, I think.
Right, but sometimes the critics can even stop us before we start. Like in your case, I remember when it first popped, when you first had the idea, and you didn't even do anything yet, but there was probably not a good idea. It's probably not going to work. Most people aren't going to be there on a Friday night, so it's why bother trying? And that's what can stop a lot of people is when somebody tells them, "Don't bother, it's not going to work," and so they just get caught. They get stuck in their own tracks.
The naysayers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you never know who they are too. So keep that in mind. You got to put your blinders on and do your thing, and do it well.
They could be people with very well-meaning intentions. They're not trying to hold you back, but in their mind's view, they think it's probably not going to work because they're seeing things from a whole different light.
That's right.
So nothing wrong with them. It's just that they're not seeing what you're seeing. So if you have your vision, Len talked about that in last week. He had a wonderful vision workshop. I don't know if you guys were all there or not, but I know you can get a replay on it if you go to lenmooney.com. But it was an excellent vision workshop, and he just talked about the things that we learn, and just have your vision, but you have to see it. You have to believe it first, and like Jackson just said, have those blinders on. And don't allow yourself to get distracted. And it's so easy for us to get distracted these days.
Yeah, and like you said, yeah, great folks can give bad advice. Only you know what's in your heart, and only you know what's pulling you. So you listen to their advice, say, hey, thanks, and see you when I get there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Even Edison told Ford he was crazy for trying to make the car. So I mean, there's a guy who's very learned and knows what he's doing, and he told Ford he was crazy.
Well, of course. And we all know that heavier than air machines can't fly.
Right, yeah.
And actors will never talk. Who would want to hear actors talk?
Yep.
Or actors becoming presidents.
Ready for work.
David's got his clip hat on.
Right on.
You ready for the cliff note?
Are you ready to give us your cliff notes, David?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
This is not Friday Night Hat Live here.
Okay, so we shall inspire greatness. Generation after generation is failing to hold the line on the ideals and virtues of humanity. The low hum of mediocrity and the heinous pitch of narcissism have replaced what once the chorus of society singing to virtue, progress, and selflessness. Our talents and collective focus are not fully invested in personal mastery and social contribution, but squandered on voyeurism and based sensationalism. Too often we call out the wrong or expect ourselves or others to act with routine integrity, excellence, or love. There has been a worldwide failure in leadership, birthing an apathetic populace, unjustifiable poverty, unconscionable greed, and a globe directionless with the bold challenges to rise and contribute. We must be better. From the squalor of the contaminated moral environment must surface an honorable few, unafraid to challenge the direction of the world. History shall fill in the wake of our actions, so let us be purposeful and let us be great.
Good. Any thoughts on that? Before I open up for everybody else, the words that attracted me that I heard right there were personal mastery.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about us. It's about us becoming our best, as opposed to looking for everybody else to become, telling them what they should be doing. We need to make ourselves best. Any thoughts on that, guys and gals?
Well, in the book, what really to highlight, just to hone in, was the 9 virtues of greatness. I think that's well worth our time pondering and discussing today. Remember seeing that?
Yeah, that was a different chapter. It was a different chapter.
We're on a different chapter? I thought we were on greatness.
Yes, we are. But does this one have the 9? Does it have a list of 9 in here?
Yeah, there are. It's let us demand honesty, let us demand responsibility.
Okay.
You know, I actually created a table, which I could actually
Oh no, I'm sorry, David. I'm sorry. You were totally correct. I got on the wrong one for a second. I'm sorry. Go. You go. You're more prepared on this one than I am. But I usually get up in the morning and I usually watch the video. I've had a guest in my house here.
It's my fault. He's going to blame me.
I'm going to blame Lunch with Lynn.
Look at that.
Yeah, but it's.
I'm blaming Lunch with Lynn. No, David, seriously, why don't you take it as much as you can today, because you're more prepared than we are.
No, I'm just saying that the 9 virtues of greatness were well worthy our time, because you know it's really that's really what I honed in on in this chapter. I actually made a handout for a group of mine that I handed out, and I went through, and I went through his book, and I went through each one, and there's certain things that resonate. I can read you this if you want.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Okay. So it's the 9 virtues of greatness. It says, what exactly shall we demand of others? The same we demand of ourselves. Conduct becoming of a noble character, attention to both our shortcomings and our strengths, a ready willingness to be excellent in our service to the world, even when it becomes tiresome and difficult. We do this by inspiring and challenging others to act with wisdom and virtue in any part of our lives upon which we have influence. If we haven't their ear, let us sow the seeds of greatness by inspiring the 9 virtues of greatness. So that was a kind of a prelude. Number 1 was let us demand honesty. We must be uncompromising regarding truth, and we must inspire others to do the same. 2, let us demand responsibility. It is difficult to point out mistakes or failings of others, but we must do this if we seek to lead. We can be kind and understanding, but let us be direct and passionate in helping them improve for the future. Number 3, let us demand intelligence. We must not continue celebrating ignorance in our society. We are to be great. We must take responsibility to others, learn, explore, and think critically and grow in wisdom. We must encourage and witness true wisdom, genius, and creativity in any area which we serve. Let us be its ultimate champion, incentivize brilliance. Number 4, let us demand excellence. For those destined for greatness, all things must be done well and to completion. We must strive for the highest levels of work and achievement in all that we do. We have no time for mediocrity on our march. On our own journey, we are merely choosing to surround ourselves with those who align with the values in our mission. We must never be shy in setting the expectations for the world-class performance. Widely shared, it becomes an unwavering standard that inspires everyone to a higher quality of action. Number 5, let us demand courage. When we see others shrink in silence or back off from their dreams, we should ask why. If the response grows thick and with excuses and weakness, we should take it upon ourselves to remind them of our innate powers of will and strength. Courage is often cultivated through confrontation, forcing others to face fears and injustices, teaching people to help rather than hide, asking for candor or kindness. When we see others to stand up rather than back down. Number 6, let us demand respect for others. The glow of respect nurtures all the virtues of human connection: kindness, compassion, fairness, empathy, love. We must show tremendous respect to those who seek to inspire, even if we are being strong and demanding with them. And we must ask them to give others the same respect. Do not tolerate any behavior that is dismissive, cruel, or condescending. Should we fail in this, then we ourselves become unworthy of respect. Number 7, let us demand vigilance. Among the great, there is a healthy paranoia of heightened concern of dark shadows of apathy that could at any moment overtake the shining cause. All that make consistent success possible, drive, discipline, persistence, commitment, come from the vigilant awareness of what we are fighting for, of what we must make us fail, or our ethics on how successfully we are progressing. We ask for vigilance by focusing everyone's attention on the things that matter, and by being honest about progress toward those things. Number 8, let us demand service. Too many have forgotten the charge that our ancestors left us to direct our energy, knowledge, and talent toward making a difference. What are we fighting for, if not to improve one another's lives? For families and communities in the world, we must rise in service once more. Service is the intent to do good and well for others, to be genuine and warm assistance in their time of need. And number 9, let us demand unity. The pillars of community cannot be strong when corroded with gossip and pettiness. We must inspire in others the natural tendencies for tolerance, bonding, and community. We must always remind others we are in this together.
Nice, thank you, David. So there's nine of those. Does anyone stick out for anybody else? Like, what's more important for anybody else? Does anybody think any one is more important than the others? We have honesty, responsibility, intelligence, excellence.
Well, I think excellence is what really resonates for me out of the 9.
Honesty comes in a close second.
Which one, Chris?
Honesty.
Honesty.
Honesty?
For me, honesty comes in very high, and maybe even the highest, because I can be excellent at being dishonest, and that's probably not a good thing.
Well, at least
Honesty and integrity.
Yeah.
Pardon, Deb?
I said at least you show your percentage and have the accountability and responsibility and go along with it.
And being honest to yourself is important. Sometimes we want to be honest with other people, but sometimes we're not honest with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to envision what this said here about at the end about sitting down with your family and taking stock of what you've become and what they've become. I cannot imagine that ever happening in my life.
Really?
That's too bad. That's really a shame, Chris. Huh?
Yeah,
Does that make you sad?
very sad.
Yeah.
I have the same problem as Chris. I don't think I only talk to one person in my family, and I might talk to her once every 3 months, and that's it. So.
You know, what little family I have left, I have a sister in Florida, and that's about it. I don't talk to her very often, but I think we could have a very good conversation. Most of my family is deceased. I'm too old. They all died.
Well,
You're only as old as you feel.
And you only have like another 40 left on
well, I have strong communication. I call my folks every week, and I do have a connection with my sister. But my brothers, I don't have really connection with them.
That's too bad. Is there something you can do to help repair that?
That's what I was going to say. Are you going to be sorry someday that you didn't repair what connection you need to have?
I don't know. It just they're doctors. They're in their own world somehow.
Sometimes maybe just a card. How are you, card? How are you? Just
Yes,
thinking.
I can do that.
Yeah. Something without expectations. A lot of times people, we call them and they think we're going to sell them something or ask them for a loan or something like that. But just a hello, how you doing? Just thinking about you. And just as simple as that. And do that every so often. It might be all we need to do.
And like one of my sisters that was 11 years younger than me, she's no longer here. And
Were you close to her beforehand, David?
Hmm?
You close to her before she passed away?
Not really. I had a hard time connecting with her as well, but it was more of on like a domestic violence type thing. And so I wish I was there for her and I was able to connect, but she had me closed off too. So when I did reach out, but I
Don't
was.
let that happen with your brothers.
Pardon me?
Don't let that happen with your brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing, because life is short. Life is short, and we just never know. And somebody might not be there tomorrow. We might not be there tomorrow. We'd never know.
This isn't an issue I like to really even mess around in, because it's a serious issue, and I've done a lot of work in this area, and there's a flip side of that coin, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer at all.
Okay.
But there's a flip side to that coin. You can spend a lot of time trying to help a lot of people by making connections in family, and even the Word of God teaches us that's kind of in your own land. It's kind of hard to rise up above the place that they put you into.
Right. I see where you go.
So sometimes you have to make a decision, and sometimes when you make decisions don't always feel like they should feel. They don't always feel good, but one can toil and waste a lot of time dealing with people that don't have time for you, or you don't sync, or whatever, and then taking that same amount of time and building that in you and throwing that out to people who will listen. All of a sudden your family becomes those who are and not those who were.
That's so true. That really is true. You know, I mean, sometimes we're just different people. Like David said, you know, if they're doctors, maybe they don't relate. Now, I think on the flip side, to your flip side, Jackson, I think maybe if there's something that maybe a misunderstanding took place or something, like you were at one point you were close or something, and maybe a misunderstanding, and maybe just reaching out with a card or something, you could change that if you open up to communication. But maybe you're just on two different paths altogether, and you may never connect. Like I think that's what you're saying. Maybe you may never do that.
Well, I think what Jack was saying is that we can really do good in life by making a difference and really could be of service to those that are willing to our audience, that are willing to listen, and bring out our greatness and our brilliance there, instead of to try to rekindle some of these relationships that we're not able to get access to. But let's kindle the relationships that we do have access to, really build our community and allow our communities to thrive, and that's how we're going to make our difference, by taking it and bring our greatness out. And this is what Burchard is talking about. Really, that's why he brings out the greatness, and that's the reason why I made this sheet and brought it to one of my communities and handed it out, is because this is who I am. I'm a catalyst for greatness. I want to bring that greatness out, and I think that's what Jack was talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Well said, David. Next time I'll just call on you.
That's the executive point of what Brendan said in his chapter. It's about us taking responsibility and becoming better ourselves.
Right, and that's where I'm at. Is I really want to be. I don't want to just make a mark on the world. I want to help people. I want to be of service to people. I want to get them to be the leaders in their own right. You know, and a lot of and basically being transformational leadership, getting others to be the leaders and then bring on leadership. That's what we're about.
Amen.
And that's what greatness is about to me. Let's foster leadership.
Yeah. And sometimes I guess we just have to let people go. I mean, my mother's gone now. There's nothing I can do. But there was nothing I could do when she wasn't gone, because there wasn't.
Well, you know what? And there is something that we all can do. And it's, I spoke a little bit about it the other day, but it's, and I'll share this with you guys real quick if everybody wants to hear what you can do to heal things in the past. And it may sound a little hocus pocus, but there's psychologists and psychiatrists that use regression therapy. And when I first heard about it, I was in my late 20s and making about $40,000 a month. I was probably like 27. And, I grew up a poor kid, so making $40,000 a month. I didn't want to hear about anybody's regression therapy. I just wanted to go buy a hot red car. But anyways, we grew up. You have these things in your past where you can't reach out to somebody. Like I can't reach out to my mom. I can't reach out to my dad. I can't reach out to my brother. And these are people that I dearly love, and I pray for them every single day. But sometimes reaching out can be destructive. And so what you do is you simply go back in your mind, in your heart, to that place where they were in your mind, and you have the conversation with them that you didn't have with them before. You say your piece, and then you let it go. And I had that conversation, and I was alone, and I spoke to my dad, and I spoke to my mom, and I spoke to my brother. They never heard this. It wasn't important for them to hear this.
Right.
It was important for me to say it.
Right.
And I've never been so free in my whole life. You know, I'm able to love them, I'm able to accept their love, but I'm also insulated from harm. And sometimes, unfortunately, it has to be that way, you know, sometimes. But that works. That really, really works. If you've never had, you know, a lot of times you hear all this stuff and you think, you know, we're all adults in here, right? You're sitting here and you're thinking, you know, maybe sometimes you think, what's all this hocus pocus bullshit, right? I mean, I came here to help. I came here to, maybe we kind of all were drawn here to make a little bit of money to start a home business. And then we find out that, you know, mindset is like so important. And that's why I love this place, is because you learn stuff from everybody. It's pretty awesome, but it's super important that your head's not cluttered with that kind of junk that'll hold you back, regrets, and when you start tripping and going on past tripping and start tripping on things that happened and the what ifs of tomorrow, or how it could have been, or how you think it should have been, all that stuff is crap.
Yeah.
It's bull crap. It's not going to help you at all. What'll help you is getting those things settled, putting them to rest, giving them to your higher power, and then getting on with, like David said, and we're all talking about, helping the people who will actually be helped, because those are going to be your greatest fans.
Service. Getting back into service, serving others, being a servant leader. And taking responsibility for our own lives, taking responsibility, being honest, and take everyone that he mentioned is equally important. I just want to read a small chapter or small thing here, a small paragraph on page 105, and he says, good people often fail to become great people because they avoid looking honestly at personal lives. They try to lead others, but do not lead themselves. And at some point, the incongruence catches up with them and derails them. So let us ask, what must I finally face to fix my own life? You know, sometimes we're always looking outside, but, you know, what about our own life? I know I've done that a lot of times, and I do it all the time, even now. And there's incongruencies in my own life, and I need to fix those things first before I can fix anybody else's life. And that's where that leads into the nine traits that we must focus on: personal responsibility, and all of those things are equally important. We got to take responsibility for our own lives.
Yeah, it's really important. I think that what happens is that we get caught up with this with things, and I think that's what Jack was talking about again, is that with the relationships. But right now, if we can just work on our inside so that we don't get caught up in the past or get caught up in the future, but stay in the present moment, to be in touch with that tranquil power that we all have, and be able to bring that out. And I think that's where the greatness comes from. Mm-hmm. You know, tranquil power, that personal power. You know, I mean, I go through, like, I meditate every day, and the reason why I meditate is to get to my true self, and from that place, then I can make the right decisions to be able to make a difference.
Right. And sometimes we get out of that power. I know I do myself. I would like to meditate every day, but I don't. I would like to say I'm going to meditate every day between this time and that time, but sometimes life happens. We get thrown off track, and we just get kind of out of the things that we want to do. So it's important to get back in there to find our true selves.
And Jackson said something a moment ago that I wanted to pick up on, because it's important for all of us. You know, when we're dwelling on the past and relationships, like my mother, you know, when we're dwelling on those things with negativity, it's because we're assuming that the past could have been any different than it was. If it could have been, it would have been. It couldn't have been. It is what it is. No, let it go. Move on. There's nothing you can do. You can't change it. And if my mother could have done a better job than she did, she would have. She did the best she could.
Under the circumstances.
She was a sick woman.
Did the best she knew what to do on.
I feel very sorry for her.
Yeah.
I wish I could have helped her, but I couldn't. Amen.
Amen. Hey, but Lynn, that's where special gifts come from, brother. I mean, as we all know, the power is in the pain. What changes you is the things that you experience. You are uniquely gifted, Lynn, to be able to have great empathy for people who were raised in a kind of a same situation. And I think, it's kind of funny, but I think as you begin building a team, the people that are attracted to you are the people that you have a unique ability to lead. And so I think that you're going to lead a tremendous amount of wounded warriors into being able to be capable, loving servants. And, when we do that, it's just like watering a seed and spreading seed out. It just starts growing and growing and growing. And I think that's what's so excited about the work that we all have chosen to do, is that, that's what we do. We're spreading seeds of love and encouragement, empowerment, and healing, while we're also enabling people to make an incredible living. I don't know about you, but it's a wonderful calling, and I'm sure glad to be here today.
Yes, agreed.
And having the key word I picked up on what you just said there, Jackson, is having the empathy for the others.
You have to. You have to. Listen, if you don't have a sincere empathy for others, I'm serious, a sincere empathy, I could sit here and, if it ain't coming from here, eventually you'll be exposed, you'll dry up.
That's what he said here. At some point, the incongruencies are going to catch up with you. And they will. You're not being congruent.
You just touched me at a very deep level, Jackson. Thank you. That's all. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Yeah, I love this group, man. I wouldn't be here if I didn't. Good people with good hearts, all with good goals, and awesome. I'm here every time I can.
Listen, whoever hasn't gone through Lynn's new course that he put out, the Vision Workshop, it is fantastic, and it really helped me work on my narrative and to see things more clearly. And I'm hoping he's going to offer it again, because I think I'll go through it again.
I think the replay is available, isn't it, Lynn, for that at the workshop?
Yeah, the replay is available. You want to do it again live, Chris?
I think that you should put it out and allow more people to be able to see it, Lynn, because it's important and it's good.
Okay. I mean, it's out there, but maybe I need to do more. So I'll talk to you about that.
Okay.
Let's take that offline. It's not rightfully part of Motivation Manifesto Mastermind, but yeah, I would actually like to do that presentation again, and I have some ideas. So I'll talk.
Well, actually, I think it is part of the Motivation Manifesto.
That's what I was going to say.
Not how to promote a presentation on Facebook.
Okay, could you guys do me a big favor? Could Bob, Lynn, could you guys, let's see who's right. Could you do like a kind of a quick paper, scissors, rock battle real quick? I just love this.
I got the scissors right here.
Wow. This just became R-rated.
I'm sure that there's rock out there somewhere.
No, because the things that he talked about in that workshop are things that we talk about in his book and everything.
Right.
And the cool thing, because most of us here, we've all been learning the same sort of stuff over the past couple of years. And what he did in that workshop is put it all together in a very nice, concise, organized manner. And I agree with Chris. It was very well presented, and I was totally impressed with that. So I would get a chance to go and check out his workshop, do so. And I don't think that sets up out of line to turn about that at all.
No. You were misunderstanding what I was saying about that, but let's just leave it alone. I was just.
You guys go out and look at the energy.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I'm humbled.
Let's getting uncomfortable here.
No.
Okay, I get those scissors on.
Oh man.
Hey, did you go out and look at the energy on the trees?
Zero, one who teaches. Do the math.
I better put back my hat.
Here we go. David's got his hand.
I'm ready for Bob.
That'd be
Is that
cool.
LPS hat?
We'll give you a rock. We'll go out there and get a rock for David. It's like,
Okay.
I can toss it at him.
I will.
We've got a fun house going on around. We've got a full house of people doing crazy things here.
I say, did you guys go look at the energy around the trees like I asked you to?
Yeah, I did. I actually did. I didn't see it though. I mean, for me, maybe it was just too far away from me. I didn't get up real close to it, but I could see a bunch of trees out my window that are. But I think they're probably a little bit too far for me to.
What energy trees? Talk to me.
Well, you know everything's energy.
There.
Okay.
If you go out and look at like a tall pine or, well, you can see it around everything once you really get into looking. But if you look at a tall tree and just squint just a little bit, you can see the energy just radiating off the trees.
I once saw a tree completely floating with energy and stuff, but I have to admit it's because of some very strange pizza that I ate.
Some mushrooms on your pizza?
Shut up, I wasn't saying that.
Extra mushrooms, Lynn.
That required 2 extra pizzas.
Yeah, and boy, I'll tell you what, I certainly saw the energy, but I was just wondering what Chris was eating.
Give us the number of that pizzeria, Chris. Are they a chain?
Maybe if we go to Chris's house, she'll make pizza for us.
Maybe.
I want tacos. And
That was easy.
A lot of times in the summer we see those like bugs, mosquitoes and stuff like that will come up the trees. Maybe that's it, Chris.
I'm gonna have.
Teasing now. You really can see the energy coming off the tree just like an aura.
I'm gonna have to work on seeing that, Chris.
You just have to squint just a little bit.
You
I'm
may
totally do it today. I'm going to make a video about it.
And if you come visit, I'll make brownies.
Ooh.
you may have a special gift that
Yeah, no,
We're digressing.
I'm too old for pizza.
That's why I said my brownies.
Yeah, much better, much better. You people are crazy.
They are, aren't they?
They are, aren't they? Bob says.
The leader of the pack says that.
Okay, who wants to wrap this chapter up? Because we're at the top of the hour here. Anybody have anything they want to wrap up this chapter with? Anybody?
What is the last thing? The death of darkness.
The death of darkness?
What is that?
If we inspire ourselves and those we strive with and serve to such greatness, what will be its end? Nothing less than the death of mediocrity. He mentions that earlier too, the death of mediocrity in our circle of influence. Perhaps it is true that there will always be low standards in an immense society. Perhaps because worldwide change takes so long, only the dead see the end of war and poverty and all other dark social failings. But we, the living, must nonetheless try. Let us at least strive towards ending many of society's ills. For if not, then who will? And when? What will history say if we do not do better? Can there be a new dawn of humankind in which more of us become great men and women of character and conscience? If we doubt it, we're doomed to fail. But if we lift this mantle from previous generations, carry it further, and share both its burden and its splendor more widely, then we shall become better examples of greatness that the children of the future shall celebrate and aspire to. So that's what that one is.
Well, on page 118, I mean, if we start from the middle of the chapter, this was a good recap. And so our attitude each morning must be that this is our day no matter what. If we can start with that intention, if we develop clarity and write our own manifestos and plans, and we execute them with heart and discipline, if we stick to it and fight it through and stay in charge, we suddenly find ourselves one day back at the helm, happy, motivated, and alive.
Amen. Amen.
What
That-
page? What page were you reading from?
Page 118.
118. That's way early. Way early in the book, huh?
Oh, we are in the book? Okay, sorry, I was on the wrong chapter.
Well, I did
Anyway, it
it.
was pretty good.
Don't worry about it.
It's okay. It's just that I couldn't find what you were reading.
Sorry about that, folks. Oh, that was good stuff.
Good stuff.
It was good stuff. It doesn't
But
matter.
it was,
Hey,
and it was related. But
you know why you caught me on that, David? Because and I'm reading it now. If we could start each day with the attitude that today's our day. If you look at my Coffee with Len video like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, that was the theme. And I didn't realize that. I didn't remember this, but that was the theme. I started with this. Today's the day. It's your day. That was the whole theme of that early video, or that Coffee with Len video that day.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it's going. Whoa, where did that come from?
You're right. I was way,
What's the last
but it was good stuff.
It was.
We shall slow time.
Okay, so next week, the last one, the last chapter here is going to be chapter 9. We shall slow time, and I promise to be more prepared next week.
Okay, what are we going to do after the last chapter?
Well, what we were thinking, because we were thinking about that just today. We were talking about that, so we will discuss that more. Probably during the course of this week, we'll see what we're going to do with that.
So we need to bring what, balloons and some drinks and make it party time.
I definitely think we should bring balloons or something like that. Hard hats.
Did Bill Clinton just answer that question, or was that Bob Miller? We're going to take a look and kind of.
I did not have technical with it.
How you doing, Bill?
We could also,
I love you. I voted for you. Care what anybody thinks.
we could also,
I did too. I still think he's a good guy. You know what? He didn't do anything else that any other man in history hasn't done.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He brought this country to a level of prosperity that we haven't seen since.
Oh, yeah.
And I can go on and on. Oh, that other thing?
Sorry to the blue dress, my
I was
friend.
asking for it.
Just the blue dress.
Okay, we're not getting political here, though, guys. So.
Bill Clinton's not political. He's crazy.
Yeah.
what would you guys think about? What would you guys think about starting to tear apart Outwitting the Devil?
Ooh. Let's think about that.
That had a profound effect on me.
Yeah, it's a great book. If we start into a different book like that, I definitely want to move the time to a different time because we have too much of a conflict with Lunch with Len.
Yes.
And trying to get that finished.
Yeah, there's been a lot of times where he
Yeah.
wanted to continue to lunch with Len.
The other thing is that I'd like to, we could expand the Lunch with Len, and we could do some of that in that Thursday session if we want to. And let's ask everybody to think about what they want to do. But there's been a lot of weeks, the last several weeks, where there wasn't basically, there's 3 or 4 of us here. It's just a very small group. So the question is, what do we want to do next? And I think it's a good, valid question.
Absolutely.
So how do we proceed? How do we proceed forward? I love the group.
All right, I guess we're done for the day, huh?
Are we good?
That's it for today. But think about that and then get back with everybody, and we'll discuss it during the course of the week.
Len, have a good trip.
Easy.
So no profit for Len tonight. There's not going to be any profit for Len tonight. Then tomorrow night we've got Jackson Friday Night Live. Who do you have on there tomorrow night, Jackson?
I was clicking in.
We've got Stephen Kribda coming out.
Oh,
Steve
cool.
Kribda, wow.
I'll be out in the Colorado River, so I've had a conflict the last couple of Fridays because Justice has been doing webinars that run into your webinar, so we got too much stuff going on. But I convinced Justice. I'm in a private coaching or a small group with him, and I convinced him to move his Friday webinar so we don't conflict with you anymore. So he's going to move his.
Right on.
But then this Friday, tomorrow, I'm not here. I'm gone.
Well, have fun. I hear you're going water skiing. Have fun, Lynn.
Yeah, the place is on the
Lots
river.
of pictures, brother.
It's very primitive out there where we go. There's no internet access at all. So, no phone, no internet.
Okay.
No phone, no internet.
What am I going to do if my child chases me ever again? There's no internet.
But look at the Coffee with Len video Saturday morning.
Right on. Right on. Are you all going skiing? Is that what's happening?
No, I'm not. We're not going. I'm not. Just Len.
Okay, just Lynn. Okay. All right. So
I'll be there tomorrow night. I'll be there. I'll be there. See Steve Cribb down.
what about Toby? Maybe he wants to go skiing.
No, he's out there hacking right now. Debbie wants to go see. He's out there.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Steve's going to come out, so it should be a lot of fun.
Are they recorded? Is it recorded, Jackson? I assume it is.
Absolutely, it's always in the Friday Night Live group. I've thrown them up there, so
Yeah, okay.
it'll be there.
I have a lot of respect for that guy. I like that guy.
He's a super guy. It's going to be fun, and we're gonna grill him and make him tell us all of his secrets, and we won't let him out of the webinar unless he does. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Chrissy will get him. She'll crack him.
She will. She will. She's the secret weapon. You know, they go in there. She's all pretty and sitting there, and she looks so.
She comes in and hammers them. You see, hammers.
Yeah. She blacks her eye. They're like, "Wow, Friday Night Live. That was a trip."
Yeah, I'm glad I came to this show.
Have fun. Be safe, Lynn. Hey, guys, see you all next week. Thanks for letting me come.
We'll see you.
Love to have you.
We'll see you on Friday Night Live, guys.
Like that regression piece.
Okay, guys. Talk to you later.
Right.
Bye.
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 Broadcast.